Let's start with Delta Airlines. First quarter profits came in higher than expected. They're buying back stock. I feel like this is the type of quarter and this is the type of results and what we're hearing from management, Jeff, that if we weren't talking about the airline industry, the stock would be up more than 2% today.
The airlines right now, Chris, are kind of like living a Shangri-La moment. Their profits are so inflated by low fuel costs. And for better or worse, they're spending the windfall in I think
because we don't know when this is going to happen again.
The better category, a lot of airlines, and there are only a small handful of major airline companies in the country now and the world, which is a good thing for the industry. But the majors are buying new airplanes, scheduling that out years ahead of time. They're increasing pay, and Delta and American have moved to profit sharing as well. So employees are benefiting. But while these costs are going up, the airfare is kind of holding steady or even going down a bit. So revenue per passenger mile is down. It was down 5% this quarter, and it's been down the past many quarters. So there's a lot of good here, but a lot that has Wall Street concerned, and that's keeping these stocks really, really cheap still.
Is it really just all about the gas prices? Because I get that has a beneficial effect, not just for Delta, but for all of these airlines.
Well, with Delta, earnings were up 27% this quarter to about $950 million, and about $700 million of that was from fuel savings. So a huge amount is thanks to fuel.
Okay, so yes is the answer to that.
Yes is the answer to that.
It's basically all about the fuel. But haven't, and JP, you're significantly younger than Jeff and me.
It's true.
Younger than I am. But in my lifetime, I feel like the airlines have gotten more efficient. I get the gas price. Mm-hmm. I understand why that matters a great deal. But I also feel like they're just more efficient because I don't even remember the last time I was on a plane that wasn't almost, if not completely filled, it was 95% filled.
Yeah, I can't really remember, except for like maybe a couple like red eyes where you're flying and there's like, oh, I can move to whatever seat I want. It seems like they're doing a much better job of kind of trying to max out that capacity whenever they get the chance to do so. But
that is true. And Chris and I were talking before the show about the late 90s, even early in the millennium, where you'd have a whole row to yourself, mm-hmm. no matter where you flew. I've flew from here, D.C. to Chicago many times back and forth where the plane was maybe a third full.
Right.
You could feel it was easier to take off. It's just like, oh, and we're up in the air. We're so light. But probably the best thing Delta's CEO said is that if they don't start making more money, more revenue per passenger mile, that they will make adjustments to their fall capacity levels, meaning they'll bring capacity down a little bit. And I think that's why American is up today and Delta as well. The airlines, they were using their proceeds to go after market share, add new routes and whatnot, but there's been a little bit more capacity added perhaps than is needed, and that'll probably dial back down, especially once fuel costs go up again, too.
I completely understand the trepidation on Wall Street about the airlines as an industry, but one of the pieces of the story last week with Alaska Air buying Virgin America was the fact that you had Richard Branson talking about how tough it is for startup airlines to get gates. And at the end of the day, this is, for all of its flaws, this is an industry with an incredibly high barrier to entry.
Mm-hmm. And incredibly high costs, too. The gates are expensive. Exactly, Chris. Getting the routes that are profitable, extremely difficult. And that's why all this consolidation has happened, too. And that's been a good thing for the industry. And that's what has me still believing that, and JP laughs, and maybe rightly so. Usually I'm a skeptic. But in this case, I believe the airlines have learned and that there are enough of them now that they can maintain profits. Now, they might be very slim profits when the economy turns or when fuel prices go up, when the economy turns weaker.
Are you saying the magic 4 words? Are you saying this time it's different?
He is saying that.
And it may not be indefinite, but it's at least for a time period. Like they learned the lessons of the recent past, the most recent bankruptcies. So for the next, handful of years at least, things will be profitable. Now they might forget those lessons and make the same mistakes again, cycle again through, but hopefully not for a long time.